Chapter 6. Living Blood. The silence in the workshop was no longer hostile. It had become heavy, dense, like wet clay, but for the first time in 40 days, it felt airy. Mark sat on a wooden stool, his head down. His wet hair had dried, clinging to stiff strands. I looked at him across the table. For the first time in all the years we'd known each other, I saw him like this. No perfect posture, no defensive cynicism, just a man crushed by his own guilt. I thought that if I packed all his things, closed the coffin, and paid his debts, I could move on, Mark said quietly. His voice was muffled, cracked. I convinced myself I'd done everything for him, but I was just buying myself off. Like always, I slowly wiped away the tears with the back of my hand. He loved you, Mark. Even when he was screaming on that couch that he hated you, he just wanted you to be proud of him. Mark smiled bitterly, pursing his lips, and I kicked him out an hour before he came to you. He looked up. There was no longer any coldness in them. There was only a searing, unmourned pain. Mark stood slowly, walked toward me, and stopped halfway. I can't bring David back, he said, his breath catching in his throat. I didn't have time to say a single normal word to him. But this child, it's his blood, Leah, the only thing left of him in this world, a part of him, and a part of you. Mark, I don't know, I faltered, involuntarily covering my stomach with my hand. It's all too complicated. Your family, your mother, they will never accept this. They will destroy us both. Let them try, Mark snapped, his lips dry. He dropped to one knee in front of me, right on the dirty, dust-covered workshop floor, carefully, barely touching. He placed his large, hot palm over the hand on my stomach. This child will have a family. He will have my name, my resources, and everything I was obligated to give his father. I'm not asking you to love me. I'm not asking you to pretend nothing happened, but let me protect you. I couldn't hold him back when he fell into the abyss, but I will hold him back for the rest of his life. I looked at his fingers on my hand. There was no authority in the gesture. There was only a plea for forgiveness. We'll have to go through hell, Mark, I said quietly. I'm already there, he replied. The door to the Anderson mansion swung open at 11 o'clock. Margarita was sitting in the living room, untouched tea, long since cold, sat on the table in front of her. When Mark entered the hall, his wet, rumpled jacket and clay-stained trousers, she rose slowly from her chair. Where have you been? Her voice rang like steel strings. The bank called us. You ruined the signing of the Singapore contract. Do you even understand what you're doing? I was at Leah's, Mark replied, stopping in the middle of the room. Margarita narrowed her eyes in disgust. That ragamuffin, you gave her money again. Mark, I warned you. She's pregnant with David's child, Mom. Mark said this loudly, clearly, enunciating every word. It was as if the air had been sucked out of the living room. Margarita froze. Her porcelain, perfectly manicured face contorted for a second. What nonsense, she whispered. She's trying to pin someone else's child on us. I did a genetic test, Mark interrupted, pulling a folded form from his pocket and tossing it on the marble table. Direct lineage, via the Y chromosome. Nephew, any questions? Margarita glanced at the paper, but didn't touch it. Her fingers convulsively clutched the pearl necklace around her neck. It's a scandal, her mother breathed out, her voice cracking for the first time. A dead son, an illegitimate child from a penniless sculptress. The press will devour us, the shares. Shut up, Mark said quietly. Margarita was taken aback. What did you say? Shut up, Mom, he repeated, taking a step toward her. His voice was dry and ringing. David died 40 days ago, and you're thinking about the shares. This child will enter this house as the rightful heir of the Anderson family. If you say even one word against Leah, you'll move to our house in Switzerland tomorrow, and you'll stay there for the rest of your days. You wouldn't dare, Margarita whispered, stunned. Go ahead and try, Mark replied. He turned and walked up the stairs to his room. Margarita remained standing in the middle of the huge, sterile living room, staring at the lone sheet of paper lying on the marble table under the bright light of the crystal chandelier. And Mark entered his bedroom, went to the window, and exhaled deeply. For the first time in 40 days, the rain continued to pour outside, but for the first time, his heart felt calm.